3 steps to overcoming worry. Now, this video is actually about something much bigger and more profound than worry. I'm titling it this and focusing on worry because one of the end results of something I'm seeing a lot in the world is people feeling absolutely wrapped in worry, trapped in worry. What I'm really seeing is this: people who feel like their back is against the wall right now. I've talked to a lot of people who are in this state recently. A lot of my videos, right, the inspiration comes from actually watching what's going on to people I know in the world and in my life and virtually, etc. I want this to be tangible and practical for you guys. So often I'm inspired, right, by what I see happening around me. So what's really going on is this. You and many people right now, you're in what I would call your caterpillar in the chrysalis era, meaning you are becoming the next level of yourself. You are becoming the butterfly. You are transforming before your very eyes. The challenge with transformation is this. In the middle of transformation, it often feels like we are dying, like our life is imploding, our life is collapsing, like the snow globe of our life has been taken and flipped upside down and vigorously shaken till we don't know which way is up, and we sure can't see a way through it. The ultimate outcome of that is a consistent state of worry. The challenge is when we're in worry, it's incredibly difficult to get calm enough, peaceful enough, trusting enough to actually see the path forward. When the snow globe of our life gets shaken up, it's actually a great service to us. It's rearranging the parts so we can see a different path, so we can see a different way, and most importantly, so we can see whatever it is we need to see about ourselves to change. So this is, again, a great opportunity. When your back is against the wall, when it feels like there is no way out, when it feels like everything you are doing is not working, it's an opportunity to grow. It's an opportunity to break through. And the first part I want to really emphasize here is if you can calm down enough to go, oh yeah, there's a way that this is actually serving me. All of this is life or God serving me. No one's doing something to me. I'm not being punished. I didn't fuck everything up. That's not what's going on here. Not really. However, because of the way we have been trained, and I don't mean intentionally trained, but we're programmed by our circumstances, by our environment growing up, by the people around us, we entrain our beliefs to the beliefs we grew up around. One of the things most of us were taught was that you essentially need to be in a constant state of worry. Worrying about what happened in the past, worrying about how you're going to deal with what's going on in the present, and worried about whatever might happen in the future and how you're going to deal with it. It's almost as if we believe that worry is being responsible, meaning if I'm worrying about it, I'm thinking about it, I'm tracking it, I'm dealing with it, like I'm not ignoring it. We're also taught, not consciously, and I don't think most people would go, yeah, I believe that, what it is I'm about to say. But we do think this way, that if we're not worrying, we're going to miss the opportunity to find the solution. It's almost like worrying is equated with paying attention, but it's not. Worrying is a very specific type of attention. It's applying anxiety to whatever we're putting our attention on. It's essentially going, what if this doesn't work out? 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 So you see the problem, right? You know that you create more of what you focus on. The energy with which you focus colors in the creation you're making. So while you might be looking for a solution, if the energy with which you're doing that is anxiety and worry, all you could ever create are more situations to feel anxious about and worry about. So you're in your caterpillar in the chrysalis era, meaning you are being transformed by life right now. The old you is being liquefied to transmute and transform into a higher version of yourself. You're becoming you 2.0. However, it doesn't look or feel like that in the middle. What transformation looks like is pain, is discomfort, is growth. is not being able to do things the way we've always done things. So we have to become open to the unknown. We have to be willing to change and to grow. And I don't know what it is for a caterpillar to go through the metamorphosis to become a butterfly. I don't imagine it's very comfortable. However, there's like an evolutionary imperative within the caterpillar to go into the chrysalis, to completely change its form, and to form into a higher version of itself. It knows that's its destiny. Why am I saying that? Because something in you knows you have a higher destiny. You wouldn't even be watching this video if not. There'd be no reason to watch this and listen to me. There'd also be no reason to be willing to grow and change unless you know you're called to something more, to something higher, to a more expanded version of service, of expression, of connection, of joy, of love, etc. So you, like the butterfly, are being called to a higher destiny right now. Everything happening in your life that feels difficult, that feels like it is pinning you against the wall, is actually this process of transformation. All of this is life transforming you, is God serving you. And if you can look at it that way, which I know feels like a stretch, when things feel difficult, when things feel scary, when you don't know the way through. But if you can look at it that way, you can breathe and relax. Because if this is life helping you transform, what does it also mean? Life has provided the pathway forward. Life doesn't ask us to become something new without showing us the way. Life doesn't give us a desire for more without providing us with the way. Life doesn't give us a dream or a vision without providing the way. So whatever it is you've been asking for, praying for, silently wishing for, deep in your heart, be sure that what's going on right now that might feel really difficult is an answer to that prayer. It's you being shown the pathway forward. So the way to actually move through this is to change the way we look at it, which is very difficult when our back is against the wall, or so it seems that our back is against the wall. Because we start worrying about what's happening, what happened in the past, what's going to happen in the future. When we don't see the way forward, and the very definition of feeling like our back is against the wall is something's happening in front of us and we keep backing up until we're cornered. So there's only one way forward, which is forward, to go through the very thing we've been backing up to avoid. And that's really the position any of us are in right now. If you feel like you're in the chrysalis being transformed, if you feel like your back is against the wall, you're being asked to see something you haven't seen before. And as I said before, what this does for most of us is trigger worry. Oh my God, is this going to work out? Oh my God, how is this going to work out? Oh my God, I can't see the way forward, etc., etc., etc. So we live in this world of worry rather than seeing the opportunity to transform, rather than understanding how we can surrender within the process and allow this thing to be easy. That's why I focus this video on worry. Because for most people, when they are in the chrysalis and looking around going, what the hell is going on right now? This is so uncomfortable. I just want it to stop, and I don't see how. What that triggers is worry. That's where our main mental focus becomes, is worrying about how to change this. So this is how you change the worry. Here's 3 tips for changing the worry, for transforming it to see the truth and then move forward gracefully. When you find yourself in a caterpillar in the chrysalis moment, when everything feels like it's closing in on you and your back is against the wall, first step, remember, life wants you to win. Life wants you to become the highest version of yourself. Life wants you to be prosperous, to be happy, to experience love and fulfillment, and to share all of that with others. Life wants you to win. Life is for the highest level of creative expression for all life, including you. So what does it mean that life wants you to win? It means that all of this, whatever is happening in front of you, is happening for you, not to you. It's happening for you. So while it might be very difficult, it might be scary, it might be painful, if you can breathe and look and go, oh my God, you mean this seeming tragedy over here is actually for me? You mean this challenging thing over here is actually for me? It doesn't mean that you're immediately going to feel no challenging emotion around it. But what it will allow you to do is to relax a little bit, to surrender a little bit, and to acknowledge if all of this is for me, there must be a way forward. Step number 2, tip number 2. The first thing that has to happen is a change in consciousness. Our consciousness, what we believe, what we agree to, how we think, determines every circumstance in our life. So, if you're in a back against the wall, caterpillar in the chrysalis scenario, and you want to change what's going on around you, and hopefully quickly, you have to change your consciousness first. And one of the quickest ways you can do that is to ask a different or better or new question. For instance, what is this showing me about myself? So if you tend to go into worry and calamity thinking when things get challenging, you might ask yourself, what's this showing me about myself? Is it showing me that I don't really trust that life is going to provide for me, for instance? Whatever it is for you, ask a better, ask a new, ask a different question to allow your consciousness to start to shift. And when your consciousness shifts, then you will move forward more quickly. Because all of this is happening. When I say it's happening for you, what I mean is it's happening to help you grow in consciousness, to help you go to the next level, your higher destiny, your purpose. But we have to grow, we have to change, we have to transform in order to do that. So when you ask a different question or a more expansive question, it helps you unlock something in consciousness to open up that will allow you to drop the worry and move forward more quickly. All right, step or tip number 3. In a sea of huge variables shifting and moving that you don't feel like you control or get a handle on, it's really easy to go into worry and feel overwhelmed. Step number 3, pick one thing to focus on, one thing to change, one thing you're going to address. The first one's always going to be your mindset, as I said, your state of consciousness. Then, once you're in a more calm, peaceful state, pick one thing you can address. What is the next step? And you do that step until it's complete, or until you reach some sort of conclusion in the moment with it. Then, what's the next step after that? What's the next thing I need to address? What's the next thing I need to do? What's the next thing I need to change within myself? Because the challenge here, when we're in that caterpillar in the chrysalis moment, when we feel like we are being crunched from all sides, we feel like things are coming at us from every direction. We don't know how to respond. We don't know how to react. We feel like we're being threatened from every angle. Which one do I address? So it ends up we sort of just take wild, undisciplined action, or we curl up in a ball. So we go into flight or fight. So the idea here is to pick like one target. Forget all these moving targets. Pick one thing you can address. What's the next step? Do that the best you can. And the next, all life asks you to do is put one foot in front of the other. That's all we're ever really asked to do. So if you work these 3 steps, if you take these 3 tips and really start to integrate them every day, you'll notice your worry goes, it drops. And when your worry drops, you can start to see clearly. When you can start to see clearly, you see the next step to take. You're willing to change in consciousness whatever it is you need to do. And you're willing to look at all this differently and go, oh my God, this is not life happening to me. It's life happening for me. All of these are gifts from life serving me to expand into my higher purpose or destiny. And the more you can hold that awareness, that consciousness, the easier it is to move forward however it is you want to get yourself out of that corner, to allow yourself to surrender to the process of becoming the proverbial butterfly so you can go soar in your life. All right, love you all. I hope this really helps. Please reach out if you got any questions, if I can help you in any way. All right, see you next time.